yourself, or you can never say how you really feel. Until now, yeah. When the sun down, my mind is on the rundown. Now they feeling like my happiness is on the come down. But when I speak to you, I feel like it's a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always have so much to say, but no one to say it to. If I could talk to you today, I know I can make it through. So let's have this conversation like a radio station. So let's have this conversation like a radio station.
It's finally Friday, and it's time for the conversation with Maria Byrd.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd, and I'm super excited about today's show because we have with us a very special guest. She is a daughter of the Harvest Tabernacle Church under the leadership of Apostle Travis and Pastor Stephanie Jennings, where she served in ministry for over 12 years. She was ordained and commissioned as a minister of the gospel in 2016. She is proud to be a part of the United States Army, a veteran, and has been employed with the U.S. federal government for over 28 years. Her public health career offers her the opportunity to travel internationally, where she has been blessed to visit over 25 countries in the continents of Africa, Europe, and Asia within a 10-year window. She was the Maximizing Life Singles Ministry leader for 7 years and is presently the Life After Divorce Support Group facilitator. She has a profound love for singles and specifically for those who have walked through the process of divorce. She received her Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration from Shorter University located in Rome, Georgia. She is the proud mother of 3 adult sons and is also a grandmother. Please help me welcome to the show my very special guest, Minister Kimberly Brice. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes. How are you? Yes, ma'am.
I am amazing. That's the word. I'm amazing.
Yes. Wow. Well, it's definitely an honor to just have you with us today. Before we get started, can you just tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. You really covered a lot. I was listening to it and I'm like, yeah, that is me. That's my life. I'll add to it that I am the first child from my parents.
Yes.
And I'm also the first child born to both sets of grandparents.
Wow.
And so I think that even that background can make people or help people understand why I talk a lot. Why I talk a lot. Why I am who I am. Yes, I'm also, again, you mentioned, a veteran of the U.S. Army, been with the government for
thank you so much
28
for your
years. I'm the eldest of 5 children. I mean, we could go on, but pretty much that's me.
Yes.
That's me in a nutshell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. I love it. And so, I think we should just go ahead and get started, shall we? Yes. Let's just jump right in. And so, I wanted to learn more about the person of Minister Kimberly Brice. And so, if we were to go back in time, what type of child would you say you were?
So what's interesting is I had this conversation with my parents and they told me that you are the exact same adult that you were when you were a child.
Wow.
Yeah, so as a child, I was inquisitive, I was talkative, I was very social, intelligent, I was smart.
Yes.
Yeah, I was definitely smart. I loved elderly people. Like I loved older people and I still do.
Wow.
Even as a young child. According to them, I was very obedient. Like I didn't get in trouble much. I didn't want to upset them. I didn't want to, I just didn't want to rock the boat. I wanted things to be easy in life.
Yes.
Yeah, so pretty much. And again, high school, social, cheerleader, a member of the dance team.
Wow.
At, in high school, that sort of thing. So always just kind of social.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And so, like just regarding your life's process, your life's journey, I kind of wanted to, because I know the next question that I was going to, but I kind of want to go to another question.
Okay.
Just like regarding your life's process, can you just share with us some of your defining moments?
Wow. Yeah, defining moments in life. I have had many, and thinking back on them, I'm going to start at a very early age.
Yes.
When I was about, I was young, maybe in 3rd grade. I always wanted to dance, but my parents couldn't really afford dance. And so my school had a dance competition, ballet. I knew nothing about ballet. And I won kind of the lead for the ballet, even though I had never danced. And that was defining for me because, you know, it taught me, you know, courage, like try it. Don't ever stop.
That's
like,
right.
Try whatever it is you want to do, even though I hadn't had formal training in it.
Wow.
I think another thing was 5th grade. I tried out for a School of the Arts in Miami, Florida. Yeah.
Yes.
And I went to the library, learned some poems, had the, you know, panel interview, and I was chosen for that. And I always had kind of a love for drama. I've gotten away from it. But that was another defining moment, just learning that there were gifts and talents in me that I didn't even, you know, recognize or know. And so even on maybe a negative note, I remember when I was a senior in high school, I became deathly ill. I was like sick unto death. And I remember looking up and my grandfather was standing there and he had never visited our house. So I knew I was on my way to heaven somewhere. I knew I was on my way somewhere. And I didn't think I was going to live. And so I kind of knew from that moment, life isn't promised. I might need to do a little bit more.
Come on.
Right. And then after that, choosing to go to the military, I am the least likely person, believe it or not, to join any armed forces. Like, I remember people saying, girl, they're going to beat you up and throw you out. Like, you are just too scary. You can't do it. But the thing that the military taught me, defining moment, not only could I do it, could I pass the exams and, you know, compete physically, but that I met a lot of women who taught me that everybody wasn't doing everything. When I was in high school, and let me just preface this by saying I'm from Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide, and I don't think we just had a lot of choices or opportunities, you know, when I was there. And so, unfortunately, premarital sex was one of the major pastimes. It was one of the major pastimes. Now, I did make it until almost the age of 19, but I really felt like I was the last person to lose my virginity. Like I was like, we were competing, I think. That's my perception, classmates. That's my perception. I got to the military and I realized that 90% of the women that I was in the armed forces with had never encountered any sexual contact. They were virgins. And I was like, where was I from that I thought that this was the thing to do? So again, the military taught me what I could accomplish and that everybody wasn't doing everything. Make your own decision. Let your own mind lead you.
That's awesome. I love that point. The significance of making your own decision. Because when you, I mean, oftentimes in life, you know, we're not making our own decisions.
We're not.
Wow.
Status quo, right? Going along with the going
along with the flow.
That's
but I just love how, you know, while you was in the military, that was one of the revelations that came to you. The significance of just being yourself, being true to yourself,
making your own decisions, having your own mind.
Wow. I love that. Wow. Can you just share with us just a little bit more regarding some of those defining moments?
I'm gonna say definitely I can't leave marriage and having children out.
My God. Yes.
Let me tell you, marriage.
Well, come on, let's go. Let's go there. I wasn't even gonna go there this early, so let's go.
Let's go. Marriage, I'm gonna say, changed my life in such a way that it was just no longer about me. The same thing with becoming a mother. You don't know all the love you have in your heart until until I had a baby. I realized that, wow, I have a lot of love that I didn't even know existed. And then getting married showed me that I was messed up.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't realize that, I have a lot to learn. Yeah, I have a lot to learn. It's not just about me. Right. And that maybe everything that I learned in life up until that point was not right.
Wow. Wow.
Maybe that wasn't right.
Come on. on, maybe it wasn't right. And isn't it funny how we might experience things or go through different things, and like you said, they will expose, what's in us that maybe we didn't even know was there.
Thank you.
Because I mean, like, even when you mentioned about children, that you had a lot of love in your heart. Like, I remember when I had my first child, and I kept telling myself, Maria, you're so selfish. Like, it was like a revelation. I was like, I'm so. You know what I mean? Like, I was so selfish, and I had to really just get the revelation, know, that, wow, now I have to love another person. Now I have to be self-sacrificing and, serve somebody else.
And give on another level. I remember wearing, like, $15 eyeliner.
Come on.
I don't even wear $15 eyeliner today. But I remember, like, 30 years ago, I wore $50 eyeliner. Who does that?
Wow.
So just so many things.
So many things.
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna come back to the marriage, but I don't want to skip over this part. Let me ask you this, because you're a minister of the gospel, an intercessor, a prayer warrior, and so I wanted to ask you, were you and God always on good terms?
So let's say this: no. You're real simple. No. I will say this though. I gave my life to Christ at a very young age. I was 10.
Wow.
I was 10. I grew up in Miami. I was in a Baptist church. I really can't remember the name of it at this point. But I remember feeling the Holy Spirit one Sunday, and I knew I just loved God. Like, at that moment.
Wow.
I joined church. I got baptized. Now, keep in mind, I was 10. And so from 10 to about 26, there was a lot going on.
Yes.
Yeah. I was always conscious of God, and I was actually always very conscious of His commandments. But did I always follow them? No, I did not.
Come on.
No, ma'am.
Come on.
No, I didn't.
Yes, but I love how, the things that we go through, again, like you said, we just learn so much, regarding the God that we serve and regarding what's on the inside of us that we didn't even know was there.
Absolutely.
Wow. And so let me ask you this, just regarding your destiny, your purpose, if you could just put that all together, what would you say your purpose is?
Right. So I know that my purpose is to repair the breach.
Wow.
I know that I'm a reformer. I'm used for healing and deliverance. I see myself as almost a mother in a sense, where I am called to give strategies, wisdom.
That's good.
To save the younger women, younger people.
Talk about it.
Younger
Can we talk
women,
about that?
years of aggravation, of pain, of suffering, of lost opportunities.
Wow.
That's what I'm called to do. That's my purpose.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that, that you're able to identify that, because, I can say, as a younger woman, we need you.
Absolutely.
And I love how, your whole goal is to ensure that we don't have to make the same mistakes as the previous generation.
Absolutely. Why reinvent the wheel? Why?
Wow.
But I know that it takes my transparency, so some of those things that I'm embarrassed about.
Come on.
I have to share that. And then I have to share the strategies, the goals, and the resolve for a lot of the issues that I've caused, and that I have had to experience in my life.
Yes.
Transparency, I know, is key for that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, come on, let's just dive into that transparency, because we touched about it a little bit earlier regarding marriage. But can we talk about men? Can we talk about marriage? Can we talk about love and sex?
Wow.
Can we talk about it?
We talk
Let's
about
talk
it.
about it.
Why not? Let's talk about it. So let's talk about, so marriage. I met my former husband in the Army. Yeah.
Wow.
So I met him in the Army. That's where I met him. Really nice guy from a very religious, what I'm going to say, also spiritual background. He had most of his family were ministers and apostles, prophets, actually. And actually he walked in the gift of prophecy, and I had no idea even what any of that was. And actually, marrying him exposed me to the apostolic, to the Pentecostal church, because I was actually raised in a Baptist church my entire life. And so that was the first time I ever experienced like the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues,
Right.
running, shouting, dancing. I
Right.
had never seen it in my life. And I was just intrigued from day one. I was intrigued from day one. So I always say that my ex-husband had two purposes in my life. One, to introduce me to God on a different level. And of course, to get these children here.
Right.
For my lineage. You know,
Yes.
definitely for my lineage. I think that we got married for some different reasons. One, we were in the military, and the only way to kind of stay together was marriage. There was
Wow.
no such thing as, you know, choosing your post.
Got you.
And just kind of being with that person. And so once, you know, we met each other, we decided, hey, we kind of want to hang out together for whatever reason. Unbeknown to me, I was actually expecting at the time that I met him. So I was expecting when I met him. And honestly, I wasn't ready to be a mother. That wasn't like a part of my strategy, my goal, my plan. I didn't see it even as my destiny. But he actually convinced me that, you know, you are expecting babies are from God. Hey, it's me and you. I'll take care of the baby. And true story, he loved my son from day one.
Wow.
He really did. And then after that, we went on to have two more sons together. And I can truly say that he never made a difference. You know, I really feel like he was God sent, like into my life, into my son's life at that time. And so that was the reason. But let me say this. The reason I could accept that proposal from him was because of all of the holes I had in me.
Wow,
you know, I was
come on.
broken.
Wow.
I was broken. I was abandoned. I was in a situation in life that I had not planned.
Wow.
I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do about it. And like so many other women, you know, if we're honest, I was ready for that security. I was ready to be taken care of, you know.
Yes.
But I did not consider all the other things.
Come on.
You know, it's not, you know, I love you, you love me, we're having great sex, and it's happily ever after. No, life comes after that marriage. After that wedding day, yeah, life shows up.
That's the
It shows
truth.
up. It shows up in a big way. Yeah, and what life starts to show you is, again, all of the holes, all of the unmet needs, all of the unhealed hurts, all of the places where you're damaged, where you've been abused.
Come on.
And so now you're dealing with another person who is pretty much in that same situation because you were drawn to each other by that spirit. Your brokenness brought you together.
Come on, break it down.
Because think about it. What 20-year-old wants to just take on the responsibility of someone that really? So you got some issues too. And I'm not saying
Right.
to everyone that you have issues because you wanted to. But more than likely, there are some things going on that are hidden that you don't know about.
Wow.
Absolutely. So let me just say that because of this, I believe that divorce starts long before you get married. Yeah. Why? Why does divorce start long before you get married? Because your marriage is only as good as the two people that come together.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So if I'm broken, you're broken, we're two tragedies waiting to come together.
Wow.
So what is the outcome?
Come on.
We got it. The outcome was tragedy and trauma.
Come on.
Amen. So true story.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know, that is so good. You know how you talked about when two broken people come together. I mean, you're gonna experience brokenness. I mean, it's gonna come on.
Okay.
And so yes, continue to take us on that journey. I mean, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? I love this question. Like people say, and I even ask people this, like, well, what happened? Well, what didn't happen? What didn't happen?
Wow.
Two young people got married that didn't know what love was. We didn't know how to love each other because we didn't know how to love ourselves.
Wow.
And that's what happened. And throughout the course of that marriage, unfortunately, we were married for 14 years, but we experienced infidelity, so many lies. We allowed so many people to come in with opinions about our relationship, how we should or shouldn't do something, what we should or shouldn't do. And because we just weren't mature enough, we didn't have the guidance. And on top of that, even though we were attending church, we did not really know God. We didn't access the Word of God, you know, to build, to build upon. And I want to say, wow, to a lot of women, to wives. I want to talk specifically to wives. Once I look back, I realized that, wow, that was a good guy. He was a really good man.
Wow.
But I couldn't recognize him as a good man because of the lenses that I was looking through. You know, my lenses were cracked. My lenses were shattered, right?
Come on.
And so I wanted him to be like my grandfather. I wanted him to do things like my dad.
Right.
How could he? He wasn't a product of any of those, you know, people of that lineage. And so I missed all of the things that he was. Yeah, I missed it. I missed all of the things that he was. And of course, I can say the same. He missed me, you know. I missed him, but he missed me as well. But I just want to say to wives, you know, a lot of times we think that we can get our opinion or our point over through words. And one thing I've learned is that words can scatter more than they can bring it together, right? And so I learned kind of after the fact that prayer's the answer to that. Those things that you just really feel like you're missing or you have to have, or the point you want to make. Of course you have to communicate, but when that point isn't made, pray. Well, he won't go to counseling. Pray him into counseling. Pray him into mediation.
That's good.
Yeah, pray him into it. Really. Because all of this, it's not going to work. He won't show up. You can do it for 14. I did it for 14 years. I know. I did it for 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, this is really, really good. I love what you're telling us today, because oftentimes as women, we will, one of our biggest weapons, we think, is our mouths. You know?
It's a weapon.
You know, and we will tear down with our mouths. We will fuss, we will argue. They call it nagging. Right. But I love how you're telling us how, you know, pray. Talk to God about it.
Tell God about it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's concerned about all of that. And let me say this. Well, Kim, how do you know that works if you were out of the marriage? I mean, you didn't do it in the marriage, because guess what I learned? After divorce, you still have to deal with this person. Go figure. So we have children together, we have grandchildren together, we communicate constantly, and there, you know, even after the marriage, we were still like, you know, we were still at each other, we were still fighting. And I had to just sit back and come to the conclusion that, you know what, you gotta do this. You've gotta raise these children with this man inside the house or outside. And that's when I started to apply prayer.
Wow.
And the result is that he and I really are good friends today.
Come on.
Yeah, we're partners because we had to be. We were forced to be partners. We had to raise our children, or we chose to raise our children, right? We were commissioned to, and so we decided that we would do that.
Wow.
And we had to do it in as healthy an environment for them as possible.
Come on. Ooh,
Right.
I love this. This is so
Yes.
good. Minister Brice, I wanted to ask you, you know, as it pertains to marriage, can we talk about submission?
Let's talk about submission. Yeah, we should talk about submission. So, I think back on marriage and just, okay, so were you submitted? Weren't you submitted? I was kind of half submitted, you know, because independent woman, education, you know, all of this stuff, my own money, you know, all of that.
Now, let's talk about that, because,
Yeah.
you know, like, there are a lot of successful women.
Absolutely.
You know, that have their own money, they're entrepreneurs, they're CEO. Can we talk about that, you know,
Yeah.
how that can affect a marriage and that whole, the submission aspect?
Right. So I think that, wow, as women, we can really get that twisted because we are in corporate America or the workforce, and we're managing people. We forget that we don't manage our house, that our position is that of being submitted to the head of the household.
Wow.
Right? And I think that we walk in error. I see it every day, you know, because I'm of a certain age and a lot of my friends are of a certain status, and especially a financial status. And so often we carry that spirit, you know, that attitude, and we project that into our households, onto our spouses. And let me say this, most men, they'll deal with it for a minute, but not forever.
Come on.
But not forever. No, not forever. So in order for your household to be in order, you have to take your rightful place. And let me say, submission is not being weak.
Come on.
Submission is not being weak. Let me tell you something. So I couldn't submit in a marriage, and so you know what God did for me? He put me in a workforce where I still had to submit to someone. I had to submit to a male in my workplace. And then he gave me a strong leader, Apostle Travis Jennings.
Yes.
Okay? And guess what? I had to submit to him. So guess what? I learned submission. Unfortunately, I just learned it outside of the marriage.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, and I think that's so critical, because it's a saying that anything with two heads is a freak.
It's a freak. It's a freak.
Right, and the thing about it is that I think it's important that as women we embrace our rightful place.
Absolutely.
As the man being the head of the household.
Absolutely.
Because of the fact that it will make order and structure in the home will run more smoothly.
Absolutely. And submission is a place of strength. It's not a place of weakness.
Come on.
A lot of times we think that, my opinion is not being heard or whatever, but with the rightful order, you're being protected.
Yes.
He's protecting you. He's your protection. He's your shield. And so we give up so much protection by wanting to, have an equal say. Okay?
Yes.
So, and what I mean by equal say, my opinion is just as important. It's important.
Absolutely.
Okay? My thoughts, my value, everything is important. It's just as important. It's just that my spouse is accountable for the answer. Yeah, he's accountable for the outcome. So, we could do it one way. And I always say this. I thought it was hard being married and submitting. It's harder being single. I still have to submit, but now I have all of the bills, all of the responsibility, now, and still have to submit.
Come on.
So you will submit.
That is so good.
You will submit. Absolutely.
Wow, you will submit, because the thing about it is, when you say it has everything to do with teamwork.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
We all have to play our part. It
All
has
have to play our
everything to
parts.
do with teamwork. And so, let me ask you this, because marriage, one of the things when it comes to marriage between husband and I feel like you can help us in this area. But sex is a part of marriage.
Yes. Yes.
Can we talk about
Hallelujah.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about what have you learned, like regarding just sex inside of the marriage?
Come on. Wow. So one thing I didn't know when I was married is how important sex is for men.
Come on.
I didn't realize how important, like, every time I turn around, you touching me. Like, every time you're touching me. I really didn't realize that was a good thing, because they're gonna touch somebody. They're gonna touch somebody. And so I didn't realize, wow, men need sex. So I had a responsibility, right, to be available to my spouse. And one thing I learned is that, and I promise you I'm not throwing off on him, that if you're not available, somebody's available.
Wow.
Okay, so that's one thing. So the other thing is, and I've had to pray over a lot of areas since I've been single, and I promised the Lord is that I would be available. But not only would I be available, I would make sure that I enjoyed it, because it was for me too.
Yes.
So sometimes as women, we have so much going on with children, with work, with cooking, cleaning, all of those things. And so maybe our appetite kind of decreases, but you have to remember that your husband needs that. Okay? It's not that he just wants it, it's a need, like it's a need for him.
Yes.
And so you have to fulfill that. And whatever you need to do, if it's vitamins, workout, exercise,
that's the truth.
Change your mind, do whatever you need to do
that's
to
the
feel
truth.
comfortable. So that, and guess what? It was meant for you to enjoy too. So that you can enjoy it too. And sex within marriage brings us closer together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. God gave us sex for a reason.
Come on.
There are so many outside forces and so many issues, just so many things we have to encounter, that's our time together to bond and, to create.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. And just regarding sex and marriage, the Lord had gave me a revelation regarding that too. Because women, we have estrogen, but men have something called testosterone. Yes. And one thing about testosterone, if it builds up, if it backs up, so to speak, because sometimes we may find ourselves and say, well, maybe our husbands or our spouses may be a little bit disgruntled, or you can tell that maybe they're stressed, or maybe they're a little bit short with you, or so, and then because it may be a built up of that testosterone. And so as the women, we have the power to bring them at ease.
Very good.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yes. And so if you experiencing a little feistiness,
yes,
you know, they may need a release. Praise the Lord.
Yes.
And like you said, you know, there's different strategies, you know, different positions.
Absolutely.
Last time was a long time.
Absolutely.
This time could be a quick time.
Come on.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Different places.
Be
creative. Be creative. No, seriously.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We have to be creative. Right. And because we want to fulfill our spouses in that manner.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You want to.
Come on. OMG.
You want to, I promise.
Yes. Yes, you guys. Well, listen, you guys, we're getting ready to take a quick commercial break, but I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to keep it locked right here. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
So let's have this conversation
On WIGO 1570 AM radio.
You can connect with Maria Byrd here Fridays on The Conversation at 11 a.m. Go to www.mariabyrd.org. You can sign up for her newsletter. Check out the latest from The Conversation. You can be the next guest, have your song featured, or donate to the cause. Learn about marketing opportunities. Check out the giveaways, special promotions, free tickets, and the latest from Maria Byrd Publications. Again, log on to www.mariabyrd.org. That's www.mariabyrd.org.
WIGO 1570 AM radio.
All right, I need you to open up your mouth. Come on, give God some praise. We lift your name up higher and higher. We shout your name out louder and louder. We lift your name up higher and higher. We declare you are God. We lift your name.
We lift your name up higher and higher.
Come on, somebody do it.
Shout your name up louder and louder.
We lift your name.
We lift your name up higher and higher.
We declare
you are God.
Here we go. Lord, we lift you up. We shout your name louder and higher in this place. Lord, we need you. Draw us to you. We lift your name up. I need you to put your hands in the air. Come on, say it. Draw us closer. That's where we want to be. Draw us close. We want to be where you are. Draw us closer to you. Come on, tell them closer to you. I need you to clap your hands on this one. We lift your name up higher and higher. Yeah, we shout your name out louder and louder. We lift your name up higher and higher. We declare you are God. We lift your name up.
Higher and higher. We shout your name out louder and louder.
I need to see somebody dancing right now. Come on.
Higher and higher.
We declare
you are God.
You know, Lord, you said this is his word, y'all. If we lift him up from the earth, he said he'll draw all men unto him. So tonight we're going to lift up the name of Jesus. Draw us closer. We want more.
If we lift you up from the earth, draw men to you. So we lift your name.
Here we go. Hands in the air again. We lift your name up. your name up. We shout your name out. We lift your name up. We shout your name out. We lift your name up. We shout your name out. We lift your name. We shout your name. 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 You said in your word, if we lift your name, you would draw us, Lord, closer to yourself. So we lift you, God. We do it for real. We do it for real. You're the only God. You're the living God. God, we lift your name. We lift your name. We lift your name. We give it to you, God. You deserve it, Lord. So we give it to you.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd
So let's have this conversation.
on WIGO 1570 AM radio.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd. You just heard the hit song Draw Us by recording artist Enrique Holmes from the Try Again Live CD. And guess what, you guys? It's available right now for purchase on all digital media outlets. Be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook at Maria Byrd, on Instagram at Maria.Byrd. You can also follow me on the Conversation with Maria Byrd Facebook page, or check out my website, you guys, at www.mariabyrd.org. Last but certainly never least, you can make a financial contribution to this show by going to Cash App $Maria Byrd. Again, that's Cash App $Maria Byrd. Well, you guys, we are back with my very special guest, Minister Kimberly Brice. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, wow, this has been absolutely amazing. Before the break,
Awesome.
you was just really giving us the breakdown and the strategy as it pertains to marriage. And so I wanted to ask you this because I just feel like the Lord is just using you in so many phenomenal ways. Tell us about life after divorce.
Wow, yeah. So life after divorce is an 8-week curriculum support group that my amazing apostle gave me permission to start within the ministry, the Harvest Tabernacle Church. And unfortunately, divorce is very real in the body of Christ. It's one of those taboo kind of subjects that people want to kind of walk around and pretend it doesn't exist, but it exists. And unfortunately, our rates of divorce in the church are as high as in the world, right? And the reason is not because people don't love God, it's because they don't have tools. That's it, they don't have tools. And so the curriculum covers everything from the 5 stages of grief, and we know that divorce is like a death.
Yes.
Okay, it's like a death. And so you grieve it. And people don't know that. You really don't hop out of one marriage into another relationship and everything's hunky-dory. In most cases, it takes years to process through the pain, the trauma, the tragedy of divorce. It really does. We cover that, we cover trauma, and then we take a look at ourselves and why we made the decisions and the choices that we made, and we learn how to fill the holes in our lives that already existed, before we married. And we fill it with the Word of God and our destiny and our purpose.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow. OMG. I love that.
Absolutely.
And so can you, how has the response been?
Wow. So I'm going to say a lot of times people come into life after divorce and they just don't feel like they need it. Like, I'm over this. I just showed up because apostle or pastor Joe, someone just told me to, come. And sometimes they even show up and, they came to help all the other broken people in the class, not realizing that they are just as broken. And so the response after they're in is amazing. Like the people who think it's not for them are the main ones that benefit the most from the sessions.
Yes.
And they go out, they bring other people in, they refer, they tell folks about it. So the response has been phenomenal.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so let me ask you this, for those individuals that have gone through a separation or divorce, do you feel like everyone that has gone through that process needs to get in some type of life after divorce?
Wow. Absolutely. Some type of counseling, because all ministries don't have the curriculum necessarily, or necessarily the tools, but you definitely need some type of counseling where you look at the inner you. Why I do what I do.
Yes.
Okay, some type of therapy.
That's good.
You know, we always heard, I did, you know, the best way to get over a relationship is to get into another one. That's why you have 2, 3, 4 divorces, because that is not the answer.
Ooh.
The answer is healing. The answer is deliverance.
Yes.
The answer is not bringing another person into your tragedy, your trauma,
Yes.
your drama.
Wow.
Right.
And so, like, you just touched on it, but maybe there are individuals that have been married and they didn't work on whatever it was, and they got married again, and you know they've been divorced maybe 2, 3, 4,
Absolutely.
5 times. So
It happens.
So that basically, you think that's like an indication that they maybe need to.
Let me tell you something. Not only is that an indication, it's an outcome. That is the outcome. When you're broken, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, what is that called? Insanity,
Yes.
right? So you're insane. You keep bringing other people into your insanity, and guess what? You're still choosing insane people, because those like minds, like spirits, are always going to connect.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. So this is so good. This is so good. You know, it's nothing wrong. It's no shame. It's no embarrassment in getting the help that we need.
Right.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. And so, yes, can you just share with us some more just regarding what you learned about marriage, and then tell us, you know, what you learned about people.
I love it. Wow. So what I learned about marriage, and for all of the people who are in love right now and you're ready for marriage, what I learned about marriage is that it is for the grown, not just the sexy. Okay? You have to be mature. Marriage is for the mature. Marriage is not for children. So maturity does not come with age.
That's true.
Okay? Maturity is a place and a position and a posture in your life,
Yes.
where you have wisdom. Okay, you have a level of understanding that you can now
break it
identify
down.
with, that you can deal with. But guess what? That you can be an asset to another human being.
Ooh, come on.
Not a liability, but an asset.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what marriage is for. And then there's a purpose for marriage. Marriage is for kingdom. Marriage is not just for bedroom action, because believe me, it can get old. Okay, and then you have to reinvent the bedroom situation. So you have to have a whole lot more before you go into it. And what I learned about people in my marriage is that people can only give you what they have. No one can give you what they don't have. No one can give you stability that they don't have. They can't give you the wisdom,
Oh my
the
God.
maturity. Okay, so they can give you a lot of things because they have those things, but if their personality, if their spirit, okay, hasn't been made whole, then they can't deliver for you. You can complain the remainder of your life, okay? You can want, you can hope, you can desire, but if it's not there, okay, so that's why you can't really marry potential. Praise God for potential.
Say it again.
Yeah, praise God for potential. But you can't marry potential. Yeah, you can't marry
You
potential.
can't marry. Now this is good.
Because they may not ever be able to produce. And you may never be able to produce, right? So you want to take care of all of those things. Nothing's perfect. I'm not saying I meet the perfect guy. I'm perfect. No, believe me. So this is what I'm saying. There's enough you have to encounter.
Come on.
After you come together. So let's make sure all of those other dynamics are in place.
No, that's good.
Before.
Because
we connect.
You know, like, I'm a woman, and a lot of times as women, you know, when we are naive,
Yes.
we have not yet reached a place of maturity.
Right.
For some reason, we will be drawn to that bad boy.
Come on.
That bad boy. But oftentimes when we are with that bad boy, we want him to do good stuff. Now that don't even make no
Say it
sense.
again.
We with a bad boy. We want him to do good stuff. We want him to be faithful. We want him to be respectful. We want him to pay bills. Come on, we want him but if he a bad boy, why he gonna do good stuff and he's a
want
bad
him-
boy?
Come on, we want him to be totally opposite of who he is.
Come on.
Really?
Yeah.
That was
But
good.
I love how you said if it's not in them.
It's not. You cannot get out of anyone what is not in them.
Come on.
It doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't matter. If it's not in you, I can't get
Come
it out.
on. I mean, if I could break it down,
Yeah.
that's like an apple tree. And it's
Come
an apple
on.
tree. But we want oranges.
But we want oranges.
But it's an apple
But
tree.
it's an apple tree. Come on. Absolutely. That's good.
Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
We cannot expect from someone something from someone that's not in them. So can you talk about being unequally yoked?
Wow. So, unequally yoked, I think a lot of times we think, well, he's saved, I'm saved, we both attend church. So we're equally yoked. That equally yoked encompasses so much, because what this person sees as salvation may be very different. There are some very carnal Christians.
Oh my goodness.
You may be on a deep level with God where you're going into intercession and you're speaking to God.
Come
every
on, you
day.
fasting?
You're fasting, you're praying, you're being led by the Holy Spirit. And this person simply gave their lives to the Lord and they still want to party because God forgives all sins.
Wow.
I mean, nobody's perfect.
Talk about it.
Okay, so that's one thing. But then there's also I think you have to be equally yoked in terms of your pillars, what's important to you, your values.
Yes.
You have to look at backgrounds. A lot of times your background plays a big part. I had my mom and dad growing up. I basically married a man who didn't. We were very different. We thought differently. Now, was I just always right? Absolutely not. He wasn't always right, but he wasn't always wrong either. But we were so different.
Come on.
So we just weren't equally yoked. Yeah, we weren't equally yoked. We couldn't see things on the same plane.
Yes. Wow. Right. Wow. So this is really good. And I wasn't even going to go here, but I just feel led to. Okay. So like during the discovery process.
Okay. Discovery. Discovery. So what discovery is our version meaning the kingdom's version of dating. So when you read the word dating, when you look it up, dating really applies to someone you have affection for, that you're having attraction to, and that eventually it leads to sexual intercourse. And so our apostle, when dealing with the singles, he has given us a blueprint for how we date in a kingdom fashion, in a kingdom way. And how we date is basically without sex. We talk, we get to know each other, we figure out our value systems, what's important, where you're going, what's your destiny.
Wow.
What's my destiny. We do most things like in the light when the sun is shining. We do breakfast and lunch. We try to stay out of those dark places, because some things can happen in the dark that don't happen in the light. And I know a lot of people say, well, things happen in the light too. Yeah, they absolutely happen in the light, but I know for a fact there's some things yes, that you weren't planning.
Come on, that's the truth.
That darkness, it bring about a different kind of spirit and attitude.
Ooh, stay out of the dark.
Stay out of the dark. Stay out of those dark places.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And guess what? And then in the light, you can see him better. You can see her better.
That's the truth.
Yeah. When you start touching, kissing, feeling, all kind of emotions, a lot of them aren't real. It's flesh, right? You don't get to know the person. You start to fall in love with their flesh and their personality instead of who they are. Right.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So I love this. This is really going to help us to make sure that individuals don't fall into, like you said, lust, fornication.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Don't do so many things alone. Especially women of my age. So I'll just put it out there. Hey, I'm 52. Amen. I'm over 50. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. Yeah. I'm 52. I'm grown. I can do. No, you can't.
Come on.
No, you can't. There are parameters and disciplines that you have to have in place, and you have to be intentional. My body will do the same thing at 52 that it was doing at 20.
That's right.
I promise. I promise.
That's the
same
truth.
Emotions. I can become euphoric. I can lose myself in fantasy if I don't bring it in. So I have to stay intentional.
Ooh, we got to stay intentional and bring it in.
I have to bring it in.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
True story.
We have to be strategic.
You have to.
Give ourselves a curfew.
Come on.
Yes.
Nothing open after 10 o'clock, but what? Oh. Come on, Grandma. Come on, Grandma.
What they say, legs?
Come on, baby. Grandma knew what she was talking about. I'm like, oh, she was right.
Come on. That's right. I love it. But you said it. Boundaries. We have to give ourselves boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. No matter what age you are.
No matter. Talk about that.
No matter what age
a little
you
bit
are.
more. No matter
Absolutely.
what age.
No matter what age you are, because I'm going back to what I said about age before.
Come on.
That's not age is not a prerequisite or where your maturity shows up. You know, your maturity shows up in different stages in life,
That's
in different
right.
places in life. And so, no matter what age I am, I have to. You know, we all do. Put those parameters in place.
That's
Don't
it.
think that you're too grown. You're not too grown for counsel. You're not too grown for godly wisdom
Come
or
on.
for strategies. You're not too grown to go and sit and talk to your pastor and be transparent and tell the truth. You're not too grown for that.
That's it.
Yeah, we
have
need
to be.
each other. There's a reason he gave us pastors and counsel. Utilize it.
Yes, we
Utilize
have to
them.
utilize it.
Absolutely.
Wow, and you know, you said you're 52.
Praise him.
Oh, you look
Praise
good.
him. You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Yes,
Amen.
absolutely.
Thank you.
And so, one of the things that I love about you is that you just display such awesome confidence and self-esteem. And so, I wanted to ask you, you know, where does this confidence and self-esteem come from? You know?
Okay, so I'm going to say a few things. I mentioned earlier, I'm the first born.
Yes.
So when I was growing up, I had a voice. Like my parents, my grandparents gave me a voice. And I think that bred a lot of confidence in me. Also, I take care of myself. And can I throw this out there, especially for married women? I think so often we're so busy taking care of houses, husbands, children, work, that we neglect ourselves. And I'm not talking about just the beautification, the hair, the lipstick, the nails. I'm talking about working out, eating the right foods.
Speak, Lord.
Okay, so often we feel so unappreciated. It's because you're tired. It's because you haven't taken care of yourself.
Wow.
But if you take care of yourself and you don't leave that decision or that place up to anybody else, you'll always feel rejuvenated. You'll feel important because you put you first. Self-care is not selfishness.
Wow.
It's not being selfish to take care of yourself. So I would say that confidence comes from, again, working out, taking care of myself, making really good decisions, being a part of a positive network. The women, my church in general, that's my family.
Yes.
That's my family. Positive go-getters, kingdom changers, okay?
Wow.
Movers and shakers.
Come
There are
on.
so many things, you know, you and I love this woman of God right here.
Wow.
But just staying around positive people.
Yes.
Absolutely. Staying around positive
Absolutely.
people. You have to take care of yourself.
Come
you have to
on.
love yourself. You can't expect anybody else to love you if you don't love you.
Come on.
Yeah, so
so
you
you
have to
mean
love
you
yourself.
mean I gotta take my vitamins
Come on. And go to the gym.
and go to the gym?
For you. And you have to do it for you. Like you don't do that for anybody else. And the more you do it, the more you know, you see the difference in you're looking good, you're feeling good.
Come on.
You know, endorphins change and your attitude
Yes.
changes. You're not mad at people when they walk in looking good and you know, you kind of toe up. Get it together.
You know what, though? And it's amazing because, you know, every now and then the Lord will convict, you know, different things run in my family, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and things of that nature. And so the Lord has already convicted me to start making some changes in my diet and the things that I do.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, I try to just encourage other people to do the same thing. And, you know, one of the things the Lord was like, you can't be drinking all them dark sodas.
Right.
And let me tell you, so I just want to say this real quick. People that drink all them dark sodas, you look like you drink dark sodas. I'm gonna just drop it and I'm gonna move on.
Okay.
I'm gonna move on. But this is so good. This is so good. And so I wanted to ask you, you know, like, what's next?
Wow, what's next? So this is interesting. I have really been working on a book for about 10 years. True story. So why 10 years? I suppose I wanted to put every aspect of my life and the journey in it, but also it was because God was completing a process in me. You just can't skip the process, you know? And so I had to walk it out. And I would think, Lord, why? Like, people are popping out books every other week. Why is this taking me so long? Well, it was because for me, for what he's called me to do, he had to complete a full deliverance process and really make me whole. So that when I speak about, you know, things in the book, that I really lived them. I've really overcome them.
Yes.
You know, I'm really on the other side of it, and I really can bring people through. I have a couple of conferences I'll be speaking in Charlotte, North Carolina in the upcoming month, I think September. I'm a part of a relationship panel coming up, I think, this weekend. And I have this information. I can basically be reached via my Facebook page, which is Kimberly Brice. or email. So don't have a website or anything like that yet, but God is definitely pushing me in that direction. But my email address is Ms. Kimberly Brice at Gmail, which is MS. KimberlyBrice@gmail.com.
Yes,
Yeah.
wow. Well, this has been absolutely amazing. And I just want to say real quick, I absolutely love you, woman of God. I see you as like a big sis, a big sister to me. And
I'm honored.
I just wanted to say this, a couple years ago, you took me out.
Oh.
You came, you picked me up in your Mercedes Benz,
don't
and
make me
you
cry.
took me, downtown
Right.
Atlanta, and we ate at the Sundial Restaurant,
Yeah.
and you just took that particular time to just speak life into me. You
Yes.
encouraged me. I mean, I just felt like I could do anything. I never forgot that day. You
Wow.
spared no expense. You paid for everything, and you gave me a book on prayer and intercession.
Wow.
You gave me a fancy pen. You gave me a fancy. I have not forgotten any. I still have it.
Wow.
And I from that day to this day, I just want to say thank you. And you continue to pour into my life. She sold into this show, and so I just wanted to take the time to publicly acknowledge you and thank you.
Wow.
For all the times that you have my mother would. Y'all gonna have to meet.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I
Yes.
want to. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I know that she just appreciates how you've been pouring into my life. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, wow. My honor, my privilege, my pleasure. I absolutely love you, your family. I love millennials. Sometimes women can think, men too, that I can be a little hard. But what I want to do, I want to save you years.
Yes.
I want to save you. I really do. I want to save you all the years of anguish and anger and frustration. And let's talk about this unforgiveness. We couldn't get into unforgiveness, but forgiveness is the key to your inheritance. Forgive. Realize again, as we were saying, no one can give you anything that they don't have. Quit expecting to get the apples from the orange tree, right? But forgiveness is key. Live life to the fullest. No one knows, okay? We have an appointed time and we only have so much time to do what we're called to do. We're here for kingdom purpose. So all of that other stuff, that drama, you have to let it go. You have to walk away from it. And let me say this. I didn't go back and complete college until I was almost 40 years old. Yeah, after my divorce, I was stuck. I was like, I want to make a certain amount of money. I was just living really well. Thank you. The Lord had provided through bruh. And so I wanted to continue to give, those opportunities and vacations to my sons and to myself. And so I went back to school. God opened a door, which is how I got into the position I'm in now.
Yes.
Again, you've mentioned I've been to now 26 countries.
Come on.
I've been all over the world. A little girl from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. If that can happen for me, that can happen for you.
Wow.
It can happen for you. He will give you the desires of your heart. When you trust in him, you lean on him.
Yes.
Amen.
Wow.
Absolutely.
He will give you the desires
will.
of your heart. Really quickly, one more time, how can the people connect with you?
Again, on Facebook, Kimberly Adams Brice. You can send me a message or a friend request. And my email address is MsKimberlyBrice@gmail.com. That's MsKimberlyBrice@gmail.com.
Yes! Wow! OMG, you guys, this has been absolutely amazing. Again, I want to thank my very special guest, Minister Kimberly Brice. Wow, will you come back?
Please have me back.
Yes.
When my book comes out. Have me back. Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
ma'am. Wow, you guys, this has been absolutely amazing. Truly, again, we thank our very special guest, Minister Kimberly Brice. You have to come back.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
you guys. Wow. Well, listen, this has been amazing. Next week, we have something absolutely incredible prepared for you. So I want you to make sure that you tune in. Keep it locked right here. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
Feel like it's a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always have so much to say, but no one is saying to.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on WIGO 1570 AM radio.
So let's have this conversation like a radio station.
WIGO AM 1570, Morrow, Atlanta.
Well, you guys, guys, again, I want to thank my very special guest, Minister Kimberly Brice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, woman of God.
Oh, thank you.
All my Asian countries, yes. Amen.
Yes, OMG. Well, you guys, make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place, right here on The Conversation with Maria Byrd.